Hi, friends. Raman and I just wanted to let you guys know about this app that we use. It's called Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Yes, and it can be heard on all the main platforms and uploaded on them directly, such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. And you can start making money on Anchor right away.
Yeah, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to
anchor.fm to get started.
Have a great week. Bye. Hi, friend.
Hi, friend. Are you ready?
Ready for what?
To level up.
Okay, girl, let's get started.
Okay, ready? Okay.
Let's do this. Okay. Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of Level Up with Raman and Alysha.
On today's episode, we'll be talking about a topic that we're really thankful for. It's gratitude.
Yeah, gratitude is a way for people to appreciate what they have instead of always reaching for something new in the hopes it will make them happier or thinking that they can't feel satisfied until every physical and material need is met. Gratitude helps people refocus on what they have instead of what they lack. So if you don't know what gratitude is, that's what gratitude means.
That was perfectly said. Gratitude is something a lot of people don't do. And I have to admit, it's not something Alysha and I both, I would say that it's not something we both practiced at an early age. It is something that we're both working on practicing right now. I would say gratitude is not something that comes naturally, just like motivation. It's not something that comes naturally. It's not something that we're just going to kind of like think, okay, we need to do this. It is something you have to practice, just like meditation, motivation. Gratitude is something one does have to practice. And everybody does express gratitude in different ways. So Alysha and I on today's podcast will talk about some of the things you can do to express gratitude and some of the things we do to express gratitude.
Yeah, like Raman said, we weren't always in the loop of gratitudeness, but you know what? It's just a way of saying thanks in simple terms. So, if you're either spiritual, religious, or an atheist, there's still things to be given to either relationships, family members, co-workers, your pet, the universe, God, or yourself, or anybody in that matter. So, people who regularly practice gratitude by taking time to notice and reflect upon the things they're thankful for, experience more positive emotions. They either feel more alive, sleep better, express more compassion and kindness,
Mhm.
and even have a stronger immune system. And one important thing, I feel like people always feel like I should only be thankful because it's my birthday, I was given another year of life, or which you should be, but or I'm thankful for this big purchase of a car, or I'm thankful for like my wedding and my partner, or I'm thankful for passing this exam. But another thing about gratitude is also being thankful for the small things too, not just the
Mhm.
momentous items either.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's that's what makes expressing gratitude difficult, I think, because it's so natural for us to get a gift and say thank you, or to, get that car or hit a milestone and say thank you so much. But why are we always thanking the universe? Either it's the universe or it's people or it's God. We're always saying thank you when we get those big milestones and when we have physically received something. But one of the things that we want to talk about is what Alysha just mentioned, that gratitude is not just about the big things. Gratitude is about the little things. It's about celebrating life, celebrating every single moment of breath you have. And I know myself, I will literally be like, thank you for being alive today. So there are, I believe, I would say like there are various ways of expressing gratitude. Two of the biggest ways that I personally think is, this is one that I don't do. A lot of people journal.
Yeah,
Um,
I've started
yeah,
doing that.
you started journaling. So how's that turning out? Because I don't journal. I've never tried, but it's one of the most what is it like
Rewarding.
rewarding, or one of the most popular ways that people do gratitude. People always say, have a journal beside your bed, write down what you're thankful for.
Yeah, I've recently got into journaling in 2021 for manifestation and journaling my good and bad moments and also gratitude. So I personally really find it rewarding
Yeah.
because my good or bad journal more so is about like the goods and bads of days, and that I tear apart the bad and keep the good, just because I don't want the negative energy. And then manifestation could be for a different podcast, but gratitude,
Hmm.
I find that, and you'll talk about the way that you've taught me. So one of the ways I do and wake up every morning actually is with what you've taught me that you'll tell our listeners after.
Yeah.
And that's only because I drive to my workplace or I drive to go get a coffee in the morning. And
Hmm.
then in the evening, I find that I'm writing it down in my journal for gratitude. So I'm more so looking back and reflecting on my day and then giving thanks about everything that happened after I started my day and went through the entire day. So
Hmm.
for the good, the bad, the lessons, the experience, and anything that may have come up.
That's what I like about journaling, that you can go back and check. Because, like,
Yeah.
obviously, if you don't write it down, there's nothing to go back and check it to. So I'm really lazy. So this is probably why I don't journal, because I have to physically, like, pick up something. But I do like the idea of being able to go back and look at that list of gratitude, whether any day it is, but go back and see it as a reminder. So the way that Alysha said that she's been practicing that kind of like I was doing myself, and then I shared it with Alysha, is so I'm a big believer in people say thanks in their head a lot. And I
Yeah.
don't think it's real until it's been expressed outside your head. So, journaling is great because you're physically writing something down. The power of writing has so much power. Like, it's just writing is so powerful. It's you getting your thoughts out of your head and putting it on paper, and it makes it real. It makes what you've written down real. So, like I said, I'm really lazy. So for me, how I like to express gratitude is speaking out loud to the universe. So, yes, I talk out loud to nobody. That's what it seems like. But, for me, I feel like if you keep it in your head, there's a lot of things we keep in our head, right? A
Yeah.
lot of negative thoughts, positive thoughts, but words are. I think we've come to learn that words are really powerful. Words turn into actions, right? And actions
Yeah.
turn into behavior. Behavior turns into habits. So I feel like if you do not take that thought outside of your head, it's almost like non existent. Because, we think of a million things in a day. Like, how is this thought any more important than the other? So, with me personally, I started this a couple of years ago when I used to like drive to work. I found that to be my moment of gratitude. Um, I'm not really like a music listener in the morning. So I would like, turn off my radio and, have that 5 minutes of gratitude. And I do speak out loud to the universe. And I say thank you for everything. And even when Alysha and I talked about this, it was like, people say thank you for the big things, but I say thank you for all the little things. So, literally, every single little thing in my life that I could think about, I say thank you. And you know what? It's saying it every day. It's not about saying it once a week. It's not about, um, whenever you remember, it's about building that habit and doing it every single day. I wouldn't say I do it every single day. I would say I got into a habit of doing it from Monday to Friday. So when I would be driving to work, but I would take that moment where I say thank you for my family, my friends, my health, our business, our podcast, for being alive today, but not just those things. I say thank you for a lot of little things that probably like to other people might seem so irrelevant, but to me, it makes all the difference in the world. I say thank you for like my phone. I just got a new phone. So I was like, now I'm like, thank
Hmm.
you for my new phone. But I don't just say it once. I say it continuously until I am thankful for it. So even though it's been like a week that I've had my phone, I'm still saying it in my gratitude because I'm still thankful for it. I've had my laptop for like a couple of months now. I still say thank you for my laptop. I say thank you for my car, which I've had for 10 years. That thank you, it's still running so smoothly and so great and is still in my life. Um, so I say thank you for a lot of small things that like may seem kind of useless to some people, but I'll say thank you for my laptop, thank you for my phone, thank you for that coffee I got today, thank you for that amazing meal that I had yesterday for dinner, thank you for, getting to spend time with my nephew today, thank you for the new dress that I got. Thank you for all that stuff. But here's kind of the kicker. I also say thank you for things I don't have yet. So that is my way of also incorporating manifestation with gratitude. Um, and I think that's also another thing people don't do. People say thank you for the big things, but say thank you for the small things, but also thank you for things you don't have yet. So I'll say, thank you for my house. Thank you for my millions of dollars. Thank you for my success. Thank you for being worry free. Thank you for, having the life that you want. So Alicia and I are really big believers in like vision boards and, setting your goals. But part of it is also believing in yourself that you're going to have it one day. And I express gratitude today for things I don't even have yet. And I feel like because I do that, it also helps me kind of get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do that. Working from home has been a bit tough because driving to work was my moment of gratitude. So I did kind of fall out of it a little as well because now I had to kind of find a new way. So I wrote it on a sticky note because for me, I'm thinking, what is my new way that I can express gratitude and make it into a habit, but also make it a private space? Because I think a lot of us it needs to be a moment with you and yourself and your mind and your energy. I don't think anybody needs to be a part of it. So your private space. So like how now you're doing it on your drive to work. So now I'm trying to practice doing it in the shower because but we all know how you can get lost in the shower. So,
Oh yeah.
so
Our mind wanders.
your mind wanders. So I realized that I want to start doing it in the shower, but obviously I had to kind of build that practice again. So I actually wrote it on a sticky note and I put it on my mirror. So that way, before I do get into the shower, I have a little bit of a reminder that, okay, don't forget to express your gratitude. And there are days I forget, and there are days that sticky note is helpful. But now I'm trying to basically do that in the showers. But, to each their own, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
no,
what I do. I talk to the universe, I talk out loud, and I express thanks for things I have and things I don't have, and very small things, very small
yeah,
things.
definitely. And I think that's super important. So like, it's it's I think if you're starting to and you're taking our podcast as a way to get into practicing gratitude, I feel like either doing Raman's approach, which she has taught me and to myself, can become very contagious to those around you. So it's like a reaping fruit of benefits for paying it forward to your future self and to those that do surround you. So, just being around your family and friends can help you feel more grateful. Also, being more appreciative of life and feeling less cynical pushes you in a more thankful frame of mind, especially if you're in Ontario right now. And even
Mhm.
globally or around the world, we're all still going through the pandemic, but Ontario's still in lockdown. We're like on our 100th lockdown.
Yeah,
I've lost count.
it's
But
hard to be like express gratitude at this point.
yeah, it's very hard. It's hard to manifest the things we want, whether you're looking for a home in our market, trying to plan a vacation, get a summer body, because it's like, am I even going to the beach this summer? Like, it's just
Yeah.
so many different things. And that's where the cynical might push you not to be thankful. But if you still show some gratitude in this light, it'll really frame your mind in a better place. When you are facing a tough decision, even like if you're deciding on whether you should maybe buy something for yourself, or maybe you
Mhm.
should make a business decision or start a business, that's another way to give you an idea. I think another thing that I was reading was that, what makes a person feel grateful. And what I found interesting is that they were saying this depends on the person, and we all
Mhm.
differ in the degree to which we are inclined to experience and express gratitude. It can be something as simple as healthy spring shower,
Mhm.
just because the rain washes everything clean. And I really like that because that's so true. So, maybe if you're someone who lives in California where it never rains and it barely does, you're probably someone who wants rain so that
Mhm.
your garden can turn green instead of orangey golden. And, like for us, we're done with the rain and we
Yeah.
want some sun, the sun, but I'm thinking about it. Maybe during this lockdown, it's been so rainy because it's trying to wash away everything. So it's another way to look at that because the entire lockdown has not been nice weather. It so far has been so cold, windy, and rainy. So maybe it's that way of the universe saying, listen, I'm going to rain it down during your lockdown. And maybe when the lockdown's over, it'll be so much more bountiful with sun and flowers and May flowers, you know? And then the other thing I had touched on that I thought was interesting was is gratitude contagious? So going back to that, it is a social emotion, and the expression of
Hmm.
gratitude towards others compounds its benefits. So emotion, it's an emotion that literally pays itself forward and almost does not matter whether the gratitude is communicated or reciprocated by others. So for
Hmm.
example, I can sit here and talk about my Raman and mine podcast and wish for the successfulness of it by thanking it over and over again to the universe that thank you for Raman and Alysha's podcast being successful
Hmm.
without having to have Raman even reciprocate or know that I'm doing that because it'll pay both of us in the future if
Hmm.
it does become successful, which it will. So
Yeah.
that's another thing. Yeah,
Absolutely. I do it all the time. I say, thank you for every time we get a new booking for our event planning. Sometimes even before we get an event planning booking, I'll say, thank you for having a successful month, or thank you for getting one booking this month, or something like that, because I'm just I'm just putting it out there, right? Before
yeah,
it even, and you mentioned something really important. It's like it depends on the type of person, right? It's like those memes that we see where it's like one person is dancing in the rain and one person is all grumpy because it's raining outside. And it really does depend on someone's perspective of, am I going to still enjoy this day that it's raining, or am I going to let this ruin take over my emotions because it's raining? And it really does depend on the type of person. And that's why I think it's important to make gratitude more of a habit rather than letting it be something that you're doing because of your personal emotions, because our own emotions can come in our way in so many ways. So if we're having a bad day, we might not feel grateful. We might not be like, you know what? I'm not fucking grateful today. Like, I feel like shit. I'm not thankful. Nothing great is happening to me and stuff like that. But it's okay to feel like that for a day, for two, but I read somewhere that letting even 3 days of feeling like that can deter you away from months of practice, right? It's like when people practice meditation for months and then they let themselves go for a couple of days and now it's affected their months of practice that they did. And I think gratitude is the same way. I think, even with myself, there are days where I'm just like, we'd be driving to work and it's like, I don't want to go to work. But, I would be like, thank you for having a job, because a lot of people don't have jobs, and I'm thankful that I have a job. I'm thankful I'm still getting income. So I would say thank you for having a job. And literally my list is like really, really long. I would literally try to think of every single little thing until I couldn't think of anything to be thankful for anymore. So every single little thing. But
yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say, but I do think it does depend on people's perspective. And because so much of our emotions affect us on a daily basis, gratitude needs to be something you practice and you turn into a habit. You need to know that I have to express gratitude even if I'm having a shitty day. Actually, especially if you're having a shitty day, because you'd be surprised you're having a shitty day and then you sit there and you start saying, thank you for this, thank you for this, thank you for this. And you're like, you know what? My life is really not that shitty. You know what I mean? Once you
Yeah.
start saying thank you and you start showing gratitude, you realize that one small thing is not going to take away from all the good things happening to you.
Yeah, you definitely start to realize like how lucky you are to be alive as
Hmm.
something that's so simple that we take for granted in our everyday life of just being alive and able to breathe is
Hmm.
such an amazing thing to be pay gratitude towards. So, if you're someone who is trying to start getting into gratitude and reciprocating it and reaping its benefits, you could start with the two ways Raman and I have talked about, or if you are about to, I feel it like for a new beginner, because the way I had started when I started journaling was I looked into it and I did a lot of research, and there are a lot of books that are available for gratitude. even at
Mhm.
starting at a very young age, I was very surprised to see at like Indigo and Chapters that there was picture books for kids at a young age too, which is great. Like what better
Nice.
way to start your kids on that, or nieces and nephews and little cousins. Um, but if you're in the stage of your life right now and you're listening to us right now and you want to start, get a journal, go to the dollar store if it's open. Start any notebook and maybe write down three good things, even if it's on a sticky note. The three good things that have gone well for you and identify the cause of to like why they're so good to you. Um,
Mhm.
Another thing that, like, I don't know if our listeners know or Raman, if you know this, when I was looking into gratitude when I was starting it, I noticed that the origin of gratitude actually comes from Buddhists, so Buddhism. And
Mm.
then it had a little bit of Hinduism, and all cultures have it, Christianity, Sikhism, Muslim,
Mhm.
they all have it. Because what I noticed was there was five, and it was five practices to do when you are trying to have gratitude in your life. And one of them was mealtime gratitude practice. So even
Mm.
before your meal, trying to practice like gratitude when you're about to have this meal, have the moment to be alone or have the moment to be around people with food, good company, good drinks, good food, that quote.
When you like
Same.
hold hands and say thank you for this meal.
Yeah, or just doing it on your own right before you eat. And they're saying,
Mhm.
like, it's something so simple and easy that we take for granted, especially when we're living in a first world country, that food is always available to us as it may not be to third world countries, right? So just
Yeah.
something as important as eating and using that as a moment. The other few things that they had said was, trying to think,
I feel like being alive is like a
a
major thing
huge one.
people should say thanks to.
The other thing is if you're someone who wakes up, I remember now. Okay, so when you wake up, you know how sometimes we can be really groggy, or some of us wake up and are really upbeat and ready to take on the day. But some of us need a few moments to get into that mood, right?
Yeah.
I'm someone who suffers allergies, so I'm groggy and I need a few moments to really get into the mood of being in that moment and for the day. They
Mhm.
say, don't just do gratitude for the heck of just doing it. Like,
Mhm.
no, excuse me, know yourself and know that like this is not the moment to express gratitude because I'm not fully as one. Like I'm not fully ready from my mind to
Mhm.
my heart to my breathing to my body is not all on the same page. And you really need to do that in order to really believe what you're showing gratitude for as well, right? And making sure your mind isn't thinking about other things during that moment and that you're only truly believing in the things you're thankful for.
Hmm. I do agree with that, but I would say that don't let that go on for too many days. Like, don't let that go on for more than 3 days because you also don't want to lose your focus. It's absolutely completely okay to not feel 100% that day and be like, today I don't feel thankful. Like I'm in a bad mood, but just do not let that go for more than 3 days. You need to remind yourself of all the things that you are thankful for and what you do have. And you're absolutely right. Like living in a first world country, we have so many things that we're privileged for that we don't even say thank you to, right? Like thank you for the
Right.
meal. And um, this is actually one of the things that I say thank you to. And it's, well, a couple of things. So thank you for like being alive here today. And
Hmm.
thank you for being healthy and alive
Yeah.
because, you know, um, it is kind of how it is what I want to put out in the universe. I want to put out in the universe that I will continue to be a healthy person, hopefully, knock wood, with no like health issues and stuff like that. So I do like to put that out in the universe that like I'm healthy. Thank you for this. And, just simply being alive because I think we've all learned that, so things can change in a matter of days, right? And we don't ever want to be in those positions. So we shouldn't take those things that we are so privileged to have for granted.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And you know what? I'm trying to think of like what are some, I know like obviously those are two of the most popular ways of expressing gratitude, but I am trying to think of like what are some of the other ways that people can express gratitude?
So one of the things that I came across was practice kindness and selflessness because
Mhm.
um, giving to others also then connects you with your gratefulness.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah. And another one was writing thank you notes or
Yes.
appreciation notes to coworkers or friends or family members.
I like that. I know we're talking a lot about like expressing gratitude to ourselves, but you did mention something important. Gratitude is not just about ourselves. Gratitude is also showing gratitude to others around you, loved ones. Remembering to say thank you. For small things, it could be even your parents, right? But saying
Yeah,
like, thank you for everything you've done for me. Telling your friends that you appreciate them, and you know what? Like we all have those moments where, we're like, thank you for being in my life, right? And sometimes obviously your friends and your family will love you, but sometimes it's important to take that moment and really show them that you do appreciate them and you are thankful that to have them in your life. And it might seem like such a necessary task, but sending those thank you notes, sometimes sending flowers or, hey, I'm thinking about you, like, are you good? And doing those things, they are all a part of gratitude. Um,
exactly.
it's not just about thanking people when they give you gifts, it's just
Yeah,
simply thanking them for being in your life and just sometimes like just for being a good friend. It's
or
like,
what they
you
do for
know,
you or feed to your soul.
exactly. So thanking other people's, and I do think what you said is really good, like giving back as well. Like, when it comes to like charity, it's like
Hmm.
if you are someone who is grateful for all the money that you have and all the riches that you have earned and all the success, maybe a way to express gratitude would be to, donate money, give back, right? It's like, it's not all for us. Like, yes, we work hard, but also like what goes around comes around, right? So I feel like money is kind of one of those things too. You can have one day, but you can also lose it the next. So um, anything can happen. So we should always give back and express gratitude to the universe and to other people and communities in those ways as well.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree with you.
Yeah. And if anyone has any other like ways of expressing gratitude or what do you do personally? Um, I think yoga and meditation, a lot of people
Hmm.
might incorporate gratitude with those things where I'm terrible at it. I don't do yoga or meditation, but I do know people who do yoga and meditation do express gratitude and kind of try to find like inner peace and clear their thoughts to kind of find the right headspace as well. So that's another way. But if anyone does have any other ways that they would like to share on what you do to express gratitude, and if you don't do anything to express gratitude, it's time to start.
Yeah,
Um, it's time to start expressing gratitude for all the little things you have, not just the big things, and celebrating all your small wins as well. It could be you went for, a 10-minute run and you're really thankful for that and you were able to make it. Like, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a clap, don't be afraid to be like, oh, what you achieved was not big enough. Every small action deserves a clap and a pat on the back. So do that for yourself.
agreed. I couldn't agree more with you.
Absolutely. Any last words, Alicia?
No, just be grateful, guys.
Yeah, let's all be grateful. Alicia and I are super thankful for our podcast, for all our listeners, for you
Hmm.
all that are listening at this very moment. We are so thankful to you.
Yeah, we are.
Thanks, everyone. If you are not already following us on social media, follow us on our Instagram and YouTube page at Level Up with Raman and Alysha. And like we said, we would love to hear what you do to express gratitude. So feel free to email us at ramanandalysha@gmail.com.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.